What do you think is the first important step in helping somebody overcome an employment barrier that they face? Not surprisingly, it is to identify the issue. In the same way that you can't treat an illness that hasn't been diagnosed or solve a problem that hasn't been clarified, we cannot help someone overcome a barrier until we're very clear on what the issue is and why it's a problem, especially for the employer. So step one is to step into the shoes of the employer. Overwhelmingly, it is they who decides what is and is not a barrier. It is employers who decide what they're willing to pay for and put up with and what they're not. Certainly, we could make an issue that may or may not be there. And of course, we have clients who have decided they are too old, or because they have a felony conviction, or they've been fired once, no one's ever going to hire them. Their mindset can create barriers as well. But overwhelmingly, when it comes down to it, it's the employer that decides whether or not something is going to keep a person from getting, keeping, or thriving in a job. So step into the shoes of the employer. Think about how much time you've spent thinking like the employer. Maybe you come from the private sector. Maybe you run your own private practice or a business, or you've led teams and hired and fired people. Capitalize on all that experience. If you haven't had that experience, get yourself a mentor, read some articles, do some visualization, and imagine how you might be thinking when you're making decisions about who to hire and who to pass over. Remember that when somebody is hired, they cost the company generally at least twice what they're being paid. So if they're being paid $20 an hour, they probably cost the company somewhere between $32 and $40 an hour. So just to get and keep our jobs, we need to be worth twice what we're being paid. Think like an employer and view the candidate, the job seeker, from that perspective. I also encourage you to teach your candidates and invite your job seeking candidates to do this as well. Flip the tables a little bit. Say, if you were the employer, let's say you get this job and you are so amazing that 6 months or 2 years from now, they promote you and you get to backfill this job. You get to build your team. What would you be looking for and what would you not be willing to hire? There are 6 areas that we take a look at when we think like the employer. They are the 6 reasons you'll get the job. They're also the 6 reasons you won't get the job. They are, and I'll repeat them, presentation, ability, dependability, motivation, attitude, and network. If you want to take a deep dive into these ideas, you can join us for the Career Ninja program or read No One is Unemployable or the 6 reasons you'll get the job. But real quickly, I'll repeat those: presentation, ability, dependability, motivation, attitude, and network. Look in those 6 areas and teach your job seeking candidates to do the same. Get as picky as hiring employers get. Even when they have lots of people to choose from, they're still going to be very picky. They need someone who will make them 2, 3 to 10 times what they're being paid. So look at those 6 areas, catch everything. Even if it's small, and even if it's not fair or nice, maybe it's not even accurate, maybe it's not legal, but it still can impact our candidate's ability to land and succeed. So catch everything. Step one, not to make matters worse, but if we don't help people catch it, the employer's not going to say, we want to hire you, but there's a problem here. Let's handle this and then we'll proceed. They're just going to screen the candidate out. So step one is to get picky, put your employer hat on, and find anything and everything that could screen your candidate out, not just from work in general, but the particular type of work they're going for right now.